Hi all, this is Deepak Grover this side yet again. So I am really exploring, learning various key topic, right, which really impact our personal or professional life and really do help us improving in these areas. And with the help of this series of videos, I'm trying to really share across my learning and my research so that it really reaches to many people and help them. This video is going to be the continuation of the previous video which we recorded that was about procrastination. In last video I talked about the procrastination as a problem and its main reason, which were really science-based reason, right? In this video I'm going to talk about the simple but practical solutions using which we can really come out of this procrastination. Yeah, so let's get started. So in order to really start this journey, you first of all got to be really stop beating yourself and stop labeling yourself as a procrastinator. You can't really do that anymore, right? Why? Because while millions and people are really doing the procrastination, you have decided to really get away with that. You have taken an action to find out the required solutions for this, and then probably that's why you are watching this video. Yeah, so you got to be really backing yourself that you are taking action. So take an affirmation from now onwards that you are a strong action taker. You do take action, right? Maybe you may want to write this down on a piece of paper. You may want to find a related image, paste that on the same paper and pin it up on your desk or whatever other place you really like, you get to see on regular basis, right? That will keep on giving you visuals of your own thoughts that you are a good action taker. You are no more a procrastinator, right? So first and foremost, you got to be taking this action, right? Second, so since if you remember from previous video, if not, then I would really urge you to go back and watch the previous video just for your quick reference. In previous video we talked that there are three main reasons for the procrastination. First was stress, another was your reward system of our brain, and third was our really strong desire to look for perfectionism, right? So we're going to talk about the key solutions under these three different areas. So let's first talk about the stress, right? What do you think? The kind of stress we are talking, why this stress is really developing, is really happening? Probably you haven't taken the required amount of actions in the past, and because of that, those tasks, those actions kept on piling, and now since those actions are little piled up, and you still have to complete them, but whenever you look at those actions or those tasks, right, you really feel stressed in your mind that, oh, कितना कुछ रह गया करने के लिए, कितना कुछ है मेरे पास करने के लिए, right? So that's how this stress really start developing, right? So what is the ultimate solution for really getting away with this stress? I think nothing other than taking actions, other than completing those pending tasks, or being disciplined enough that future में जो भी task रहेंगे, right, we will be completing them on timely manner, so that this stress really doesn't get developed, so that we don't get the trap of the procrastination, right? So now you may say that दीपक, अगर हम वो एक्शन ले पा रहे होते, right, तो हम इन सब के बारे में बात ही क्यों कर रहे होते, right? Procrastination exist ही क्यों करता अगर हम वो एक्शन ले पा रहे होते, right? Pretty much okay. But having said that, I think this is the underlying source of that particular stress which is leading to the procrastination. So we got to be addressing this underlying source of not taking action. Yeah, so there is no excuse, there is no escape out of this. You got to be taking action. So let me share a few hacks using which probably you can really engage yourself, you can really push yourself to taking those actions. Yeah, first and foremost, you got to be finding a strong why that pushes you to take actions. So far, if there hasn't been enough force, internal force, for you to taking those actions, So there could be two reasons. One, there hasn't been any why, that why you got to be doing this task or action, right? There hasn't been any clarity around that, कि करना ही क्यों है मुझको ये. Or else, if there has been a why, there hasn't been enough strong why, right? There hasn't been enough clarity behind that why. That is the reason why you have been really pushing it across to the later, and that's what led to the procrastination. So you got to be doing a kind of introspection to find out why. And if why is already there, you got to be doing further introspection, that how do you really make that profound, make that solid, make that strong, right? How can you do that? You may want to sit down, you may want to take help from others as well, right? Your nearest and dearest ones. You may want to sit down and start thinking that why exactly you need to be doing this action or task, right? uh, what would be the outcome of it, where that outcome would be leading me to. Yeah, what is the bigger task that this small action or small task will be contributing to. वो खत्म होगा तो उसके चलते क्या benefit होगा, right? You got to be looking at the bigger picture, right? So that's how you will be starting from the smaller part, and bigger you'll be reaching, you'll be looking at the bigger picture, right? So that bigger picture should be giving you the strong push and strong why, that why you should be taking this action. And it is pretty much clear कि जब तक आप ये छोटा एक्शन नहीं लेंगे, राइट, उससे बड़ा वाला नहीं हो पाएगा, उससे बड़ा वाला नहीं हो पाएगा, सबसे बड़ा वाला नहीं हो पाएगा, right? So that's how you got to be finding a strong why, that why you should be taking action, why you should be doing this task for you. Yeah, so this is one thing you got to be doing. Then you may want to take help from certain psychological techniques as well. For example, set and reset intention. So ये टेक्निक किस काम आएगी? ये टेक्निक काम आएगी आपको whatever, I mean, this technique will help you engaging yourself or pushing yourself to taking actions, right? How this will help you? You are engaged in any of the activity at this point of time, but you got to be taking the next one, right? And the previous activity is not really fruitful or kind of leading anywhere to you. So you want to really get away, push or pull rather yourself from that activity and push to a new one, right? So you got to be reset yourself from that activity and set your intentions to do the next activity, right? Simply say reset and set intentions, right? So you may want to really do this. You may want to combine this with another psychological hack, and that is counting in the reverse order, right? 5 4 3 2 1. Okay, I'm getting on to the next action. 3 2 1, I'm getting on to the next action, right? So these are the few hacks which you can really combine together, right, and push yourself into the actions, right? So combine these two. I think this will really help you pushing yourself into the taking action mode, right, which will be helping you get away with those piled up actions, and then your stress will be getting managed, and ultimately your procrastination problem will be getting sorted out, right? So this was first and foremost way to manage your stress, which is all about taking action. But there are a few more as well. Most of you would have heard about various time management books, and there's a gentleman called Brian Tracy. He wrote a wonderful book on the time management. He said in that book that for any reason, if you need to eat that ugly frog, right, eat that. There is no other option. That's what I said above, right? If certain actions are to be taken, right? There is no escape route out of it, right? So, and he said further, if for any reason there are two frogs to be eaten, right, eat the biggest one first. Yeah, and you got to be doing this activity in the very first hours of your day. Why? So that you are done with your most important and critical and difficult task in the very initial hours or the start of the day, and you are not stressed out because of that bigger task, that difficult task for the rest of the day, and hence you won't be procrastinating the rest of your other actions to later part of the day. Yeah. So I mean, for example, when I was planning my day for today last night, so I had 3 4 major goals. One of them was recording this video. So I thought that I should be doing this in the first half of itself. So I did that, and then I had to work out certain scheduling and working on PPT for some of the coaching program that I am really delivering to some of the PM for some of the people for learning project management. So those are kind of actions which are a little bigger and difficult ones. I stitch them and try doing that in the first half of the day, and so that my next half of the day I'm able to really invest doing rest of the other actions, and there is no stress as at all, right? So you may want to really try this, right? So crux is perform your critical task as quickly as possible in your day, right? So that you are stress free during rest of the day, right? Another way to really keeping your stress managed is keep your surroundings pretty much clean and clear. Why? There is a strong linkage between our physiology and psychology, right? So they say the more you see clutter around you, around your physical surroundings, right? Similar type of clutter you end up developing in your mind. And if your mind is really messed up, you can imagine, right? You're gonna be having a stress altogether. और इसको आप practically देख भी सकते हैं. If you're sitting in a space where everything is really messed up, you look at your table, right, your desk. If that is not clean enough, that's not really organized enough, right, you'll be finding something uneasiness. Whereas if you have very clean space around you, your desk is pretty organized, right, you will be finding it pretty nice, right? So why? Because of this this linkage between our physiology and our psychology, right? So do that, right? Execute this will really help, right? Last but not the least, to manage your stress is perform certain types of exercises maybe early in the day. Why? Because you want to eat that your bigger frog early in the day. So before that, you may want to really make your mind, you make your brain absolutely clean, clutter free, as well as fresh. And doing exercises will definitely help you. Yeah, exercises really help releasing certain kind of chemical, certain kind of hormones in your mind that really pushes you, that really makes you feel happy, right? So that's a kind of few tips, trips, and tricks that you can really apply managing your stress, so that one of the main reason of procrastination really go away. Yeah. Now let's jump on to our next reason of procrastination. That was uh, developing a reward system, so that our brain gets a sense of achievement, and that does not really pushes us to get into the trap of procrastination, right? How can you really do that? um, so what exactly is the core behind it? And that is, you got to be giving a sense of achievement, a quick result, a quick gratification to your mind, that whatever you are engaged into, here is a tangible outcome of that, so that it really doesn't pushes you off that particular task, right? So what how you can do that? You may want to divide your bigger task into smaller tasks, so that once those are done, right, you can celebrate within yourself that yes, you have done that. So that's kind of sense your mind have a sense of achievement, right? Second, probably you may want to visualize, I spoke earlier as well, you may want to visualize the long-term benefit of your small task, right? For example, you want to visualize, you may want to draw as well on the paper, that if you have to finish a book, right, which is the bigger goal, how 10 pages in a day, right, would help you covering 300 pages in these many days. Yeah. So what exactly you're telling your mind that while you have to finish off a 300 pages of book in order to complete that, right, 10 pages a day, 20 pages a day, right, which is a small task, a small action, right, that will help you taking closer to your bigger goal. That's also kind of sense of achievement, right? So you may want to do that. You may want to set up some reward system for yourself, which means once you are done with your particular task, with your action, you may want to give yourself a kind of break, a coffee break. You may want to set some 15 odd minutes of time going to the social media, absorbing certain things from there, if that really helps you, right? But make sure ये जो डोज है आपके ग्रेटिफिकेशन का, ये बहुत लंबा ना हो. नॉर्मली व्हाट हैपेंस, जब कोई भी हम लोग इस तरीके के रिवॉर्ड मैकेनिज्म में जाते हैं, हम बोलते तो हैं कि हम 15 मिनट में वापस आ जाएंगे बैक टू आर सेट ऑफ एक्शंस, बट वो 15 मिनट जो है वो कब 45 मिनट, कब 1 घंटा, कब 1 घंटा 15 मिनट हो जाता है, right? You really don't end up realizing. So you got to be little, you got to be self disciplined around these areas. Yeah. So these are the three hacks you can apply for reward management, right? Last reason was perfectionism, right? So let us talk that how can we really deal with that. हम सब जानते हैं कि there is nothing like perfectionism in this world, right? No one is perfection, no one is perfect rather, right? And no one can be. उसके बाद भी हम इस ट्रैप में घुसते हैं, right? So you may want to keep that in a bold letters or bold image in front of you. Keep reminding yourself that perfection is perception merely. There is nothing else like that. Yeah. Instead of setting or thinking of setting some perfect goal, okay, आज मैं 40 पेज बुक के पढ़ लूँगा, आज मैं 10,000 कदम चल लूँगा, मेरी वॉच में दिखेगा, मेरे मोबाइल ट्रैकर में दिखेगा कि आज मैं 10,000 कदम चल लूँगा. But for some reason probably you are not able to do that, right? And somehow before setting that goal you also know inside that this might not be possible, but you may want to push, right? So जब वो नहीं होगा, right, then you'll be in little trouble, right? So you'll start beating yourself. Don't get into that trap, right? And that is a reason why you get into the procrastination for the next time. Yeah. So instead of really setting some unrealistic goal, you may want to set some realistic goal but along with incremental progress, right? For example, मैंने example दिया कि you may want to read a book of 300 pages. You may want to lay down a plan कि मैं 10 pages रोज़ पढ़ूंगा, या to start with आप 5 भी पढ़ सकते हैं, और you end up reading only 5. 2 दिन में आप शायद 10 तक पहुंचेंगे, या अगर पहले दिन ही 10 पे पहुंचते हैं बहुत अच्छी बात है. You may want to push yourself that okay, 4 दिन हो गए मुझे 10 रेगुलरली कंसिस्टेंटली पढ़ते पढ़ते मेरा पढ़ने का स्पीड, मेरा ग्रास्प करने का पावर थोड़ा सा बेहतर है, मेरा फोकस बेहतर होता जा रहा है इस बुक पे. आई एम गेटिंग इन टू द कर्व ऑफ दिस पर्टिकुलर बुक. तो मुझको चीज़ें कॉन्टेक्स्ट समझ में आ रहा है. Now probably you may want to increase your capacity, increase your goal. So next 5th day से maybe you may want to increase your target of reading. Instead of 10 pages you may want to say मैं आज 12 पढ़ूंगा या 15 पढ़ूंगा, depending upon, right? So similarly, right? So there is an analogy, there is a kind of saying which goes in line to this, and that is version 1 is better than version none. कुछ ना करने से बेहतर है कुछ तो करें. Yeah. So I mean this should really help you. Last hack on the perfectionism is focus and enjoy the progress instead of really seeing and beating yourself कि मुझे इतना करना था नहीं कर पाया. जितना भी कर पाया back yourself, right? कि you could do that nicely, right? You may want to explore, you may want to introspect कि बाकी गैप कहाँ रह गए, वो आप आगे कवर कर लेंगे. बट remember, version 1 is better than version none, right? That applies here as well, right? Focus on journey, focus on progress, right? Instead of really looking at okay, how far you are from your end result, right? So that's how we can really try coming out of this problem of procrastination, right? And try applying these simple and practical hacks to this problem in your life. I'm sure these will help. These might not be applicable, all these might not be applicable to every one of you. Whatever really gets applicable, you may want to make use of it, right? I'll be glad if really this helps any of you. Yeah. So that is it for now. That's how I can conclude this particular video. uh, in the end, as I say, right, keep learning, keep growing. The only way to do that, by now, and that is know you and then grow you, right? Thank you for watching, thank you for time, and see you until next time I come up with next nice topic. Thank you.